talk about our bodies. We are here to talk about the idea that we are not robots, singers. I know this is going to come as a shock to you, but we are not robots. We are human beings. And I'm bringing that up today because it's a reminder I have to give myself often when I am having a challenging day or a moment where I feel something happening within my instrument that feels maybe not even like a roadblock, but like something I have to deal with. And what I mean by that, I'll give you a great example. I was just in Vegas with my family. I was there for a few days and I was so dry, you guys. I had a bloody nose every time I blew my nose when I was in Vegas. And it just made me think to myself, oh, yeah, I am not a robot. I am a human being. And when I step into a different climate, my body has to adjust. When I haven't slept well, my body has to adjust. When I am dehydrated, things are happening within my body that are going to affect my instrument. And anytime I have a moment like that, it's this moment of realization of our own humanity that we are not machines, we are not AI, we are not any of that. We are human beings made out of water and flesh and blood and all these things, bones and muscles and organs and all this stuff going on. And our body gets impacted by the world around us, by our emotions, by our climate, by our behavior. And so it just shows us how important it is to have self-awareness, to be aware of what we feel, to be aware of what is making us feel a certain way. So again, go back to me in Vegas the last few days, blowing my nose, going, why is there blood? And thinking, oh, it's because this is how I react. This is how my body is reacting to these circumstances. If I was there singing, if I was there on tour doing a job, maybe I have to, as a singer, be aware of what I feel and then go turn towards some tools like steaming, overly hydrating, doing certain things that would really make a difference in how my body feels in that scenario, right? If I have an important audition or an important performance and I didn't get good sleep the night before, adding in a nap and making sure that I'm resting accordingly and warming up accordingly for a tired body, right? We are not robots, so we have to figure out how to have this level of awareness where we are looking at our body and assessing what we feel and assessing what comes up for us and kind of going, okay, I know that this is happening. Therefore, I'm going to have the awareness to acknowledge what I feel in my body. And I'm going to be aware of the fact that I've got to work with my body, not against it, in order to figure out how to move through whatever moment I might be in. So it's such a key piece, I think, that we miss sometimes, especially if you're a perfectionist like me. You can really beat yourself up. You can really sort of, tear yourself apart for being a human being that is going to have these moments of reactivity, these moments of stress, moments of fear, moments of doubt. Um, and the only way that we can move through those things is by getting more self aware, by having more experiences where we actually listen to what we feel and we listen to our body's signals and we listen and pay attention so that we can address those things. The only way to change it is to address it. I was just telling a student earlier, some people are just really stubborn, right? Those people out there that you think to yourself, that person needs some therapy, but they're super resistant to doing that because I don't need that. Okay, well, that's a choice. That is a choice to not acknowledge where we need to work on something, right? But it's choosing not to acknowledge our own humanity. It's choosing not to acknowledge the part of us that is a human being that is flawed, that needs to learn, that needs to grow. This is really important when you're a singer, because if you're in denial, then you're not helping yourself move through moments of just being a human being that has challenges. If you're not self aware, then you're going to move through those types of moments with a lot more panic, not a lot of kind of clarity, because you're willing to look at that stuff and go, oh, this is actually something I can work on, or there's something I can do for myself here to make this process easier. We either arrive at that because we look at our own humanity, our own humility, and go, I'm willing to work on this, right? Or we don't. And then we don't get better at stuff. We are not robots. We are fully capable, not that robots aren't, I guess, but we are not machines. We are fully capable of learning and getting better at the things that we do. And it's not as simple as just, downloading a new program. I'm in the matrix, just put my head in the thing and download some new information for me. No, we got to work for it a little bit more than that, us human beings. We have to actually spend time with ourselves. We have to actually spend time with our bodies and our instrument. I'm talking about singing specifically, but this applies to so many things. We have to be willing to take the time to learn so that we know in those moments how to move forward with more grace and more strength and more awareness. And then things get easier. They really do. But that's the hard part, is acknowledging that we're not machines and that we are not robots. And it also, I have to say, it gives us a lot more, what's the word I want to say? Humility is the right word, but there's a lot of humility in realizing that. It gives us more grace in realizing that we're not going to be perfect all the time. It makes it a lot easier when you have that awareness that you are not perfect and the only way to get better is to continue working on things. It makes it a lot easier to make mistakes because we don't take every mistake so personally when we acknowledge that that's just part of the human experience, making mistakes, right? I think this is really important. And so I just wanted to leave you with that today. The next time you make a mistake or fuck something up that you've been practicing or working on, I'm a human being, man. I'm doing my best and I'm getting better. And if it wasn't your best and you know that there's work you can do to get better, stop avoiding the work. Now we're going to use the Mel Robbins tool, but it's that thing of countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going to go work on it. Either make the choice to do that or don't. But if you don't make the choice to work on stuff, when we have those human moments of messing things up and realizing that there's more we can do to get better, then we stay in the same place. And it's not to blame ourselves, it's just acknowledging that that's the truth, right? I can think about exercising, or I can actually make the choice to do it, even if I don't want to do some of this stuff sometimes. If there is an option of getting stronger, getting better, getting healthier, getting clearer, we can only grow up or we stay in the same place. But I think when we have the humility to realize that we're gonna make mistakes because we are not robots, we give ourselves a lot more space to make mistakes and grow from them. And man, is that a big life lesson to be okay with that process, to be okay with that as a singer, to be okay with that in our careers, whatever we might do for a living. I think it's a lot easier in one way and not another way. So, this is for all the singers out there. Don't stop yourself from learning. For all the creatives out there, don't stop yourself from learning. There's only one way to go, and it's up. But the only way to go up is if you give yourself the option of falling down and then picking yourself back up and continuing on the journey. And you're not going to do that without making mistakes. Mistakes are part of it. It's just part of it, it's part of the journey. So I hope that makes sense. Next time you're in that position, I am not a robot. I am not a robot. I am a human being. I'm a human being. I'm going to make mistakes and it's okay. It's okay because I am doing my best. All right, everybody. Happy hump day. Let's get through this week.